Can you give me your name, please, and what you thought about the Los Angeles Anarchist Bookfair?
My name's Ned, and the LA Book Fair, I think, was a great opportunity for folks from not only diverse backgrounds and experiences and strategies, but also just kind of folks from all over greater LA, which I thought was a great coming together to really kind of figure out some strategies, but also to learn information and do knowledge sharing and definitely get to know each other. And so I thought it was a great opportunity for all kinds of folks to struggle, and that's definitely what happened during the LA Anarchist Book Fair. There was a lot of struggle, conflict, but I think it was all a lot of it was well facilitated in becoming, I think, really productive conversations that can be taken into our own communities and things that we really are struggling with. And so I thought it was kind of this moment that was pivotal to our movement in Los Angeles, or movements, to kind of really come together and struggle with some of the issues that maybe we've either been ignoring or have been too afraid to talk about, or just haven't had a chance to.
And you were involved with the workshop Open Discussion. Could you give us a little more information about this?
Yes, I was part of helping to facilitate a discussion on queer and trans people of color, and to connect that to anarchy. And so that was a really interesting conversation, because we talked about the current political the ways how queer and trans people of color currently are politically, with the elections and Prop 8 having passed. And so we did a lot of dispelling of the myths and the lies that kind of got perpetuated post-election. So around how the gay is the new black, and how black people and the Latino communities were the reason why Proposition 8 passed, and how to connect that beyond. So the complexities of that. It's like, no, we shouldn't have an amendment that takes away rights from people in the Constitution, but we also shouldn't be perpetuating heteronormative laws and institutions, and kind of upholding the fact that laws will eventually liberate us. And so kind of the struggle about that, and then also connecting all of that to transgender healthcare access, and then going into what are some people doing now in actions, but then also talking about what is the role of spirituality, indigenous resistance, and indigenous communities, and as people of color and colonized peoples, how all of that connects, and what the role of spirituality is within the queer and trans people of color communities, and how that's a tool of liberation.
One last question. What do you think about people who believes in one type of equality and doesn't support the gay and lesbians?
I think that they have a lack of analysis and understanding of people's oppression, and don't understand how things are really connected, and that we're not divided internally into these different identities or these different struggles, that it's all really connected, and they're all part of larger root causes like imperialism, colonization, and that homophobia is part of that, and it's part of the colonizing that has to happen. And within people of color communities throughout the world, and both anthropologists have backed this up, as well as our own traditional teachings around that, queer and trans people have existed and have had a very significant role within our communities, and that through colonization they were taken away. And so anybody who says that to me is perpetuating the same imperialism and the same colonization and the same patriarchy that actually harms our communities.
All right, thank you.